there's a lot of people that are not going to sell their BpDAI. It doesn't matter what happens at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, Richard Hart straight out came out and did what, like 30 Twitter posts? Well, that's not including the 6 that he did before. Where he was talking really good about it, saying, "Hey, look at this chart on Pulse Chain. This chart's up 5,000x or whatever, right?" So he was talking great about it before, and then out of nowhere, he just comes out and starts fudding it. We are familiar with the founder fudding stuff, so he fudded it. It fucking nuked all the people that were not super hardcore believers. Even some of the believers, like, sold. And then after it was kind of well known that, hey, look, this is kind of in his playbook to do this kind of stuff. Maybe don't nuke everything, see what happens. Because again, believer cycle, right? You got to believe in something. You either believe. You don't have to necessarily know, but you want to believe that this thing's going to $1.
Yep.
And that's what keeps people holding. It's that firm belief, right? I happen to be in that camp. Am I going to get
right?
Yeah. So it's like, this all started because of Stray. So I blame Stray for everything.
Maybe this guy might deserve a little bit of blame too, just because he's here now.
What did I do?
You made just BpDAI go to $1.
Target of opportunity, sir.
Oh, I made it go to $1.
I got you $1.
I got you $1.
What's your background, buddy?
I'm doing good. Yeah, turn up my bow. Hold on.
But what if?
So, you guys are kicking the old butts on the old yoke and doke, eh?
We didn't choose violence. The community chose violence.
What happened?
All I know is me and Mimo and Mello stepped in real quick to a spaces today with Sal. It was Sal's space, and we just gave a little info on. He opened it up. It was tight necks heavy, right? But he had it opened up to anybody and everyone, and we went and talked a little bit about BpDAI on there. And then it was not like 30 minutes to an hour later when it just started, like the chat just started going nuts with the buys coming in. And look at what happened there. We touched 100K, almost touched 100. The buy bot said 100K in the chat, but it looks like it was more like 97, 98. But yeah, it propelled us to number 2 on the Zora app in the trending today. Number 8 in market cap overall, which is pretty crazy. And it's funny. You look at and I don't know if you've gotten used to Ted navigating the Zora app. When you look at the trending or the top tokens, you see who's bought it. And if you're, Jesse Pollock.
Yep.
So you can see what he's buying, right? And it's just like the top 10 coins has his little logo right next to them.
Yeah.
It's like BpDAI. It's like, come on, Jesse. Get a bag of BpDAI.
Did he take the bait?
Nah, not yet.
We need a bigger worm.
Mo's working on it. I think Mello's in his DMs. He's like, Jesse.
It's still freaking awesome. I mean, it was just a crazy idea on a whim. Open a prayer, and now you guys are like trending like crazy.
There is no based BpDAI other than this. Might be imitation.
It's beautiful.
Mo
gave me a crash course the other night.
Look at this right here. Top today, number 2.
Yep. What is that camel thing? What's going on there?
What's this?
No.
This.
What's that?
Camel ball.
What is that?
Oh my god. Oh my god. All right.
I knew what it was. I wanted you to click it.
You got it. What's funny is I only saw the swinging balls. That's all I saw. And I was like, well, that's not too bad. Oh. Oh,
It's amazing though. Look at
Okay.
some of the holder counts. Bases for everyone, 24K holders.
Yeah.
Bull has 165K holders, and we're holding our own there. We got 235 holders. I want to see that blonde punk image next to BpDAI though.
Yeah.
okay. Hang on. All right, guys. We're going to have a moment here.
Dun, dun,
Someone's
dun.
coming in. But this guy knows we're on fucking YouTube. Oh, it's my handler.
Handler.
Okay, my bad.
Mo
My
Handler.
handler. I thought it was somebody else.
And fuck cryptocurrency.
We've been going on for too long. Can't get enough what it's you on.
Can you mute him?
Motherfucker.
Can we
I just-
mute him?
Every fucking time.
There he is.
Hey, man, I just had to, man. Now you just made me feel bad, dude. I thought it was a sick song. I'm sorry.
No, I get a copyright strike for it. It's not
All the
on YouTube.
conspiracies just came true.
Wait. Do you actually get a copyright on that?
He's,
Yeah, you got to go
damn,
into the
I'm so
creator.
sorry.
There's a whole creator thing. You got to see what songs were approved.
Wait,
That
did
is
you
not
get
allowed.
copyright in the
That
last
song
one?
is not one. Yeah, it wouldn't allow me to do anything.
I messed it up. Can I go back and do it again?
All right.
start the
No.
stream over.
This is already
Start
live.
the-
Kick him out.
Ah,
No,
Boot him.
is it on
Boot him.
YouTube? Yes, it's on. It's fucking guy. Fucking guy. It's all right.
Verse,
How you
did
doing,
you,
buddy?
did you happen to see what happened to the BpDAI chart after we were on Sal's space today? Because it went nuts.
no, I did not see it. What happened?
Yeah. We jumped from we were hoping this was going to be the 50K celebration stream, but we almost hit 100K, and we're back down to 60K. But man,
Still over the 50.
freaking
So
fun.
yeah, we started the day at like in the low 40s.
yeah.
And we were like, man, we might get to 50K today. Like we're at like 45. We're gonna get to 50, and then when all three of us were like as busy as possible. Apparently, the pump of all pumps happened in the first 5 days here, and that thing pumped all the way up to like 96K market cap. And then some people in Zora took advantage, and we ended up stabilizing at 60K now, which is quite a bit higher than 45K. So we'll fucking take it, and we're still up on the day. We got more holders. We're higher. The march
Trending
to
like a
100K
biatch.
continues.
Trending like a
What was it?
biatch. They're number 2 and number 3.
It looks good though.
Showing that. Look at this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're number 2
Here.
on trending on Zora, and
We
if you go
do.
to market cap on Zora, we are now number 8. We have flipped.
So I'm starting to see how the Zora
Something else.
aspect of this throws in such an interesting aspect to this is with the people just browsing through Zora, watching their little wallet, and they're like, oh, this thing just did wherever they bought it, and then they're just going in and converting to their Sparks. They don't know. They might not know PDAI, at all, but they're like, yeah, I bought this thing with a D with 2 lines through it. It's in a blue circle, and it's doing really great.
I mean,
Dude,
imagine the first couple holders could have, put like $10 in and pulled like $5,000 out.
Oh yeah,
they
Johnny
sold.
did the calculation on that guy that bought for $1 and sold for $7. He would have had over 1,000.
All of it. He'd have
1200.
all the liquidity. Like you would have had it all. No, 1,200. That's legit. $1 to $1,200.
Look at Chris
That's not-
Madison. Serious PA move.
Bad return.
He's running numbers. He's looking at charts. He's grinding.
So, well, let me share my screen real quick. This is interesting.
It's not going to be the penis camel, is it?
No. I'm already. Well, listen, I already pushed the boundaries
Yeah.
already. I already messed up.
It's all right. Johnny's already coming like close in second with the penis camel. That one.
I'm gonna do this before my.
Like
computer.
guarantee you, when they tell me why I'm not going to be able to monetize this one, it's not going to be for the song this time.
Put up a
Well, in my defense, that song isn't actually like that's actually a spin-off of the original song because it was from like a video in crypto that they slightly changed. So you might be able to get away with it, but it's no guarantee. I don't know if that made any sense whatsoever. So
no, I understand. It's a cover.
Yeah, we'll see. But chances are they might be assholes. But
Hey Chris, you see that spike down on the lower left where it went from like 10K to like 15K. Yeah, I remember a couple days ago being super excited. We had a little pop and we like hit over 10K and we hit 15K briefly and then we dropped back down. When you see something like this and you have holders growing and you see that thing compared to the spike then today, do those correlate in any way? Like usually on charts when you see something like that?
So basically what that is like someone putting in like a bunch of money and then someone quickly selling it. So what that tells me is this is botted. So somebody sniped part of the supply and got a good position on it. And then once like a big buyer comes in, they quickly sell off just so that they can make some quick profit. So chances are,
guess what?
What?
The only snipe was the $1, $7 sell.
You're talking about from launch, right?
But something happened. Yeah, but something happened there. Someone got in because I think someone pulled out like $1,200 or something like that.
Well, like on Zora, I'll tell you what happens all the time on Zora because I've seen it. I've watched people do a $500 buy on Zora and then immediately sell it, like right afterwards. Like, because I don't think some of the Zora people are savvy enough in crypto to understand that when they buy, the market cap moves up and technically their holdings just went up. And so I think what some people are doing is they put like $500 in and they're like, my $500 is now worth 550. Sell. But yeah, but you didn't. That's not you were the 500 that pushed the value up to it. Never mind. Anyway.
So this is done with bots. So the guys on Base and Solana and ETH, they actually use these like advanced trading bots. The reason why a lot of people in our community are not well aware of it is because they came from Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain doesn't really have to deal with this too much because the access to these types of tools aren't present there. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Well aware, but there's a different facet, an aspect of Zora where people on Zora that aren't bots. Like people on Zora will end up making a buy on the app and then selling right afterwards.
Yeah,
like
I see what
some of the creators are brutal because you'll get the 10 million out of your billion. Someone will make a 20-cent buy and the creator will fucking nuke, and you're like, whoa, like it's wild. But anyway, I'm not saying it's not necessarily.
Yeah, well, the app makes the app makes that aspect super easy, right? Because like you don't even get a chance if you accidentally click it too. You're like, oh, okay, I just bought this thing.
Yeah. So what this chart is telling me right now, this little spike right here was probably profit taking from this massive green candle right here. So this is like a massive spike. Someone came in and it must have been, I need to look at the order book real quick on what's going on. But it seems like somebody came in with what was like $900 earlier right here. Oh, no. Look at this. 900. So about $3,000 right here is when they came in. And then that's when we started to get that slow and steady sell off later on. So yeah, man, this is really interesting. It seems like there's some sort of market maker trading in and out. It might have something to do with Zora, because Zora might have like an automated trading bot to auto bounce between the LPs. And when you auto bounce between these LPs, you earn fees, and those fees can be extremely profitable. And I see this a lot with like big platforms. Base uses Wintermute, ETH uses Wintermute, and then Pulse Chain also uses Wintermute. Wintermute's like the big one for market making. So
legal?
What's up?
Is that just for their protection, or is that for them to just like scoop up some cash and keep the platform running?
All right. So the reason why you have a market maker, when you have multiple LPs, so say like, let's use Pulse Chain, for example. You got the PulseX LP, you got the Hex LP, and then what's another one? PTGCLP, right? And they're paired up with Rat Pulse. So Rat Pulse is 3 different prices in those pools, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say a whale goes in and sells a bunch off of the PTGC pool and goes from PTGC into Rat Pulse. What that's going to do is that it's actually going to take the price of PTGC, bring it down, and take Rat Pulse out of that pool, and it's going to bring the price of Rat Pulse in that pool down a lot lower. So then there's going to be an arbitrage trade where people are going to be like, Rat Pulse is much more expensive in this pool, but it's cheaper in this pool. So we're going to buy it in the most expensive pool and sell it in the cheaper pool so you can make some profit. Wait, did I do that right? No.
But the only problem with that is that we only have one pool. I mean, like there's a whole bunch, but they're all with $1.
Well,
the only pool is with Ethereum.
Well, yeah, but Base has a market maker for all of them, so that runs with all of them. And by the way, it's for the lower pool. So if it's a lower price, then you sell in the higher price pool. So the reason why we use these market makers is if you got somebody new in this space running around and they don't understand like the arbitrage stuff, then they can get absolutely wrecked when you have a whale sell here and buy here, and they can lose like 50% of their value. So what they say is like, all right, we need a market maker to auto bounce those pools so that the price of that token is constantly the same across the board. Now, here's where it gets very sketchy. If you guys get a chance, Google Jump Finance. Jump Finance does the market making for Solana, and it turns out what they were doing was they were actually artificially propping up the price so that they could lure retail into Solana, and now they're basically getting a lawsuit from the SEC. So is market making illegal? No. But what are most of these companies doing right now is illegal? Yes. What they're doing is market manipulation, and a lot of people are going to go down under after this market. Sorry, that was a long explanation.
No, can I ask you a question? So if you in theory have one pair just with Ethereum, there's a lot of arbitrage there that's being made?
Yeah, because you got multiple pairs with Ethereum. You got Miggles with Ethereum. You got Brett with Ethereum. You got Rabies with Ethereum. You got Toshi with Ethereum. So that arbitrage trade, it's, well, number one, they don't want to harm retail when they're swapping in and out. Well, actually, no, that's number two. Number one, that arbitrage trade is extremely profitable because keep in mind, you might make like 5 or 10% off of that. And for guys like us, it's like, oh, well, if it's $100, that's like $5. But when you're doing with millions, bro, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if this market goes crazy, when it comes to that arbitrage and we get into the billions of dollars, that could be worth hundreds of millions. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, you're going to scare people off because I guess if we have that going on in here, luckily it's pennies because not much going on in terms of I guess I guess whatever are the bots, the buys are super small.
Well, yeah. Well, let me get this like across. The market maker on Base isn't doing like these artificial prices I'm talking about. I'm talking about Jump Finance on Solana. They're going to court for that. Like if you look up Jump Finance, they market made for Solana, Sui, I can't remember. I think the other one was like HBAR, and then they had to sell everything. If you want to know why Sui was like went up and then went down, that was Jump Finance selling. So the main point I'm trying to get across, guys, and when I say the market maker, everyone looks at me like I'm an idiot, like I'm like on drugs and stuff. No, when I say the market maker, there is an artificial AI bot literally trading the price, propping up the market. There's on-chain analytics to prove it. There's lawsuits against these companies going against these people. And there's a good chance when this thing goes down under and we have the massive speculative bubble and it pops, these guys are going to jail. So just want to throw that out there.
All right. Well, that's a chipper spin on this.
So here's the other aspect, Chris, is that the thing that I'm interested in too is, you had that big spike and whatever it may be in Google is saying, limit sell orders too. Yeah, it could be an aspect of that, but where we've maintained above prior to the pump, which shows me that there are holders there that are actually holding. We added actual true holders beyond the spike and the dump, right? Because we're up, what, 15K above where before that pump started.
Yeah. And here's the thing I noticed about these wicks. These wicks always fill to the downside and to the upside. So when you have a massive wick coming up, what this tells me is that sometime in the future, and keep in mind, not financial advice, it's going to do something like this. And when it comes up to this wick, it'll probably touch, crash down, retest, come back, and then it'll choose its move. I think it's going to go to the upside. So the main point I'm trying to say is when you have a gnarly wick to the upside, it gets filled. And what that tells me is the chart's extremely bullish. Now, let me look at some other indicators. I'm so surprised my computer's working, and I'm actually pretty fantastical right now. All right, so here's what I'm seeing on the MACD. You see this like little cross right here?
Mm-hmm.
So you have the 12 and 26. The 12 and 26 it talks about the average price over a 12 interval period in a 26 interval period. So this is over 12 hours and 26 hours. The short term, the 12, just crossed over the long term, the 26. So what that's telling me is that you're getting a short term pump going across the long term pump, which means down the road is extremely bullish. Now, looking at the RSI. So the RSI looks beautiful. It is saying that this thing is pumping into oblivion right now. This is it's been an overbought territory for the entire life cycle of this chart. So I mean, it's probably because it's such a it's a low liquid token. That's probably the reason why. So typically that indicator I usually don't like to use. Keep in mind, these indicators are great, but for every chart, there's a different story being told. And as a TA guy, that's up to you to determine. And for all you guys that say that TA is fake, you can go fuck yourself. So
you heard it here, folks. Go fuck yourself.
Yep, you can eat a dick. All right, so
bro, are there a lot of people telling you that TA is fake?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mo. I'm sorry. Mo, I feel like Mo's gonna want to stab me, dude. All right, well, hey, BpDAI to $1 makes it better.
That's right.
That's right.
And the disclaimer here: we're not saying BpDAI. There is nothing to do with a peg here, right? We are having a fun time with a meme. We all like PDAI. So it could go to $2.
Yeah,
that's right.
So what I'm seeing on the volume range profile, you see how these volumes are like spiking up here. So there's a critical level here, and there's a critical level here. So what this is telling me is that you got a magnet. So there's a resistance level coming here that people are trading constantly. And then there's another one right down here. So as it's starting to come up, if we break down here, this would be the next level we would have to retest. So the key is we want to get above this 0.000609 level and continue to push up and keep going. Because if we break this level and we come back down, we'll hit the first stop is going to be about 4 zeros and a 4-4. And then after that, we'll have to come down to 4 zeros and 1-4-3-2. So ultimately what I'm seeing on the chart, extremely bullish across the board. It looks really, really great. And yeah, man, love it. BpDAI. So
BpDAI. It's a tongue twister, that's for sure.
Yeah, these are all holders that want to go to the fucking moon. They're all PDAI lovers. You know, we're gonna have fun. Where this goes, I don't know. Does this end
it turns out, I don't know if you guys talked about it before I jumped on, and I was a few minutes late. But it turns out there's some big players in the PDAI community that now know about this, and apparently they're not pissed off. They're okay with it because they know we're not trying to, be a Matty Allen, sell your PDAI and come buy my shit. We're not. That's not what we're doing here. We're just like, hey, look, PDAI is pegged to like 3079 right now. It's not doing shit. So come over here, have some fun, throw some dust you have laying in your wallet. With base, that's a beautiful thing about base, is that if you just want to buy something for like $5, you can. With Ethereum, it might cost you $1.50 to do a transaction. While that's not very high, if you only have $5 or $10, well, if you have $10, that's 10%. You know, that's 10% if you have to pay that dollar. But if you have $10, it only costs you 0.008 cents to do a transaction. Well, there you go. I mean, you could throw dust in something on base, and it's not going to eat your profits away like it will sometimes on Ethereum.
And here's the other thing I want to say about the stuff with PDAI. I know a lot of these guys way back in the day, and I remember buying PDAI, like it was like right around 100K market cap before it went on its run. And a lot of the OG guys, man, they're very soul crushed after the Maria stuff. I don't know if you guys been keeping up with like Maria selling a treasury bill into teddy bear and all that stuff. Like that was a soul crushing defeat, because the PDAI army, man, is one of the craziest armies I've ever met. Like they have been through it all. They went against it with the maxis. Back when Sami was attacking it, dollar cost crypto, and they smashed every single FUD event. But then when it went to Richard Hart, which some called the final boss, that's when things broke down. And the thing that sucks was a lot of the friends I made in that community, some got broke mentally. So
I bet
we're all in that community too.
Dude, it dropped 90. What 90? 90.
We're all in PDAI. Almost all of us have been in PDAI the whole time. Or like you said, some of those people who got shaken out recently after all of it. I mean, this is our community too. I mean, I know I've been a Titan X guy, but I started in Pulse Chain. I was in Pulse Chain first, and I never left Pulse Chain to go to Titan X. You know, I kept all my Pulse Chain bags. You know, most of the time I was in Titan X, I had Pulse Chain farms going. I had those going all the way up until actually a month before all the percentages got cut. That was just lucky timing on my part, but yeah, I mean, we're all Pulse Chain people. Like we love this shit, and we want to see PDAI go to $1.
I got a question.
Yeah,
and this I'm just curious about. So, what if BpDAI was listed on a secondary exchange as well? Is there a cost associated with that? So, say like
you have to give them supply.
You gotta give them supply.
Yeah, so you gotta buy supply and give it to them.
Well, there's two ways to go about it. The first one that Mo said, you have to give them a supply and then pay the listing fee. Or if it's a like really high demand token, then they'll buy it and list it themselves. But that's very rare. So
you got like volume that's like bonkers.
So for them. So for them, when they look at that, they gotta say, okay, if we buy this token, will we make our money back, and will it be there for a very long time?
Hey, you bring up a good point though, because I've read so many things where people are like, oh, let's get our token listed. Look, if you're not even cranking out close to 500,000 in volume a day, they're not interested. But like they're not going to make anything on it. Like they need to make trading fees on it. So if you have a low volume token, going to MXC or whatever it is, like that's not going to do anything if you only have $2,000 of volume on Uniswap. Like they want to capture a large amount of volume. So you need to have high volume for that to even really honestly be a consideration that you need to make.
Yeah.
All right. I was just curious. Just a thought.
And
I'm not bagging on. I'm just telling you.
And the thing about these exchanges, man, is that when where they make their money is going to be based off of volume, because every swap they get like a small fee, and that's how they really make it. And then also leverage trading. So if you're doing like longs and shorts and stuff, sometimes like when you get those massive scam wicks, that's when they make a crap ton of money. I don't know. You remember? Were you here for the Terra Luna collapse?
I remember it.
Well, let's talk at TEDx. Were you here for the Terra Luna collapse? Yeah.
No.
So what happened was everybody started shorting Luna, but the price kept spiking up. It was like a scam wick. So when they were doing a short, they were getting liquidated as the price was going down. So I think Binance made something crazy like 200 million off that event. It was insane. So
Jesus.
Yeah.
Damn. Just in fees on liquidating people?
Yeah. So what happened was well, technically somebody was buying and we have a low liquidity, so they didn't have like much of the tokens on the exchange compared to what was on the blockchain and like Uniswap. So if you get a big buyer coming in, it'll spike the token up. And remember that arbitrage trade I was telling you about? Well, it actually goes from exchanges to the dexes on the blockchain. So if the price of the token is really high on like Binance, then you can buy it on like Uniswap and then sell it on Binance for a massive price. That's how these exchanges work. So when you have a little bit amount of tokens up for sale, it can spike very quickly. So technically somebody was buying, but in my opinion, what I think they were doing, they saw the shorts and they were just like, all right, let's ritualize these guys. And they started buying that thing and going, woo! That's my theory. I can't prove it. That's all speculation, but you guys get the point. So I'm going on a crazy rant, but you get the point.
No, you're good.
Yeah, right.
So I think the main point is when it comes to these exchanges, guys, if you're trying to find new projects that you can't get access to, like Cubic's one that we really like, me, Goo God, Adam, and a lot of people, you have to buy an exchange and then self-custody it. But any other token that you can buy on Uniswap, Binance, PulseX, well, Pancake Swap and stuff, that's not on exchange, do it on the blockchain. Do not do it on these exchanges because they get illiquid very fast and they collapse during the bear market.
Yep.
They're usually one of the best bottom signals in the bear market is when you see one of those bad boys like finally like there you go, this one just collapsed. You're like, okay, now I'm gonna start paying attention to where we're at in the cycle.
Yeah, and the only exchanges, there's two exchanges that will never probably collapse because they withstood the test of time. It's gonna be Binance and Coinbase. If one of those exchanges collapses, then
we're in big trouble.
Crypto would probably go back to the dark ages for maybe like 6 months, and then it'll come back. I would buy that. I would buy that event, but I'm telling you, if Binance or Coinbase goes down under, we are screwed. So,
well, the people that don't have the long-term vision, like you said, yeah, I'm buying that event, dude. You kidding me?
Yeah. Well,
that would. You don't get events like that very often.
Well, hey man, it's 11 o'clock at night here, so yeah, let's talk about predictions for the year of the horse for crypto. You guys want to talk about that, or you want to talk about something else?
For what's that? What's the year of a horse? You're gonna have to educate me.
Well, yeah. Well, I can get into it, Mo. Did you want to talk about something else, or can I get into that stuff? Because that'll be another.
We have a limited amount of time. We have 15 minutes left.
Okay. Well, whatever you want to talk about.
No. I mean, we got 15 minutes, so however you want to do it.
Chris.
Yeah.
For 2026.
Why is crypto on a different animal than the actual calendar?
Okay, so Bitcoin was founded in the year of the rat, right? So it's under rat energy. Now, in the year of the horse is enemy with the rat. In the last year of the horse, which was 2026 minus 12, that was 2014. In 2014, what happened to crypto? Does anybody know? It was a big event with an exchange with Bitcoin in 2014.
Is that BitConnect?
Mount Gov?
Mount Gox. In the year of the horse, Mount Gox went insolvent and it collapsed the entire crypto industry, and everybody thought Bitcoin was dead. When Mount Gox happened, even Richard Hart thought it was dead, but he actually bought it, and that's what made him famous, was because of that event. So the point I'm trying to get across is what we're going to see is towards the end of this year, we're going to see crypto blow up. Year of the horse starts on, I think it's either February or January 29th. I can't remember. But as we get into the year of the horse, we'll get into altcoin season. Everything will start going crazy. Things will start being all magical. But there's going to be a big event that's going to hit crypto. Do I know what that event is? I'm not sure, but it's going to wipe out crypto so hard and then make it come back like towards the end of the year. So the main point I'm trying to get across, guys, is when altcoin season starts coming in, make your money, get your gains, but understand that it's not going to last forever. And something big is being planned for 2026 that's going to ritualize the entire market. And when I say ritualize, man, I'm telling you that you're going to see people with millions of dollars turn into hundreds of dollars really, really quickly. So
I seen it.
And that's go ahead, sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, seen it before.
Yeah, man. And keep in mind, Johnny, you're born the year of the pig. I'm a pig as well. This ain't your year. Lay low, relax. You've probably been getting hit hard, but when the year of the horse starts, it's gonna be a breath of fresh air for you. So,
in theory, I mean, Chris, is that with what you just said? Is that kind of like a way to stabilize or to get the market back under control? Like, it's like checking it out. Like if it's something catastrophic is going to happen, or something bad is going to happen in 26, like you said, is that just a way that the market's going to react in such to just kind of bring it back to reality?
Yeah, kind of. I think what it really is, too many people are winning, and when you have that many people win in this type of space, there's got to be something to reset it.
Right.
Why did Richard? Yeah. So why did Richard Hart get hit so hard with Interpol? Because I don't think he actually did all those crimes with Interpol. Why did the SEC sue him? Because Hex made more millionaires than any other cryptocurrency. You see what I'm saying? So the main point I'm trying to say is, I firmly believe that there's bankers and stuff that don't want all of us to win, and there's got to be losers. And when you got this many average Joes having a huge come up, there's got to be something to check everybody, because if that many people have that much money that have some sort of goodness in their heart, that will start a revolution across the world, which would result into a renaissance. And that's what these people don't want. So to answer your question, I think it's because they don't want that many people winning.
Right. And what's wild is I was at the John Deere dealership today. I had to get a belt for my tractor. And it was an old timer behind the counter. And as he was ringing me up, he was telling me this story about he took his grandchildren to the mall and they wanted to play some of the kiosk games or whatever. And he didn't have any cash, but they could take a credit card. And it said, we're going to charge you $4 for the transaction. He's like, he figured, all right, $4. But then he got home and he checked his account, and then the bank took their cut too. And he's like, all I did is I wanted $10, but I ended up paying more than half of it in fees just to get that $10 to let my grandkids play. And the thing that blew my mind, this guy, he was probably in his late 60s. He's like, I should probably start looking into that crypto stuff. And I just smiled at him. I'm like, decentralized exchange, buddy.
All right.
Point A to point B, no middleman. And he's like,
go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, he just really made me go, holy crap. I mean, at his age and his generation, he had some grasp, some concept of what crypto was about, so I thought that was pretty interesting.
Well, if it took you 15 years to get a double in the S&P 500, I mean, you'd probably look at something else too. And you see all these people flexing Lambos that look like they just got done blowing snot out of their nose and just graduated high school. You're like, well, what the fuck am I doing with my life? You know what I mean? There's only so much of that. And Chris is right. There's only so much of that, because of the advent of social media. Back in the day when I was in the early 2000s, before Facebook came out, before social media, you never heard of this kind of shit. You never heard of people just absolutely banking it, buying yachts, going to Dubai, having crazy parties. You never heard of that. Now with social media, every Tom, Dick, and Harry that does a 10X, they're going to the Lambo dealership or something, and they're just flexing it all over the place. And there's only so much of that these guys, they don't want that, because they have all the curmudgeons that have their ETFs and their 401ks and everything up their ass. Hey, how come my son, who's 19, is crushing my returns, and he's in something called fucking fart coin. You know what I mean? Like why is he crushing my return? Like, what are you guys doing? And there's only so much of that they're going to be able to take before they're just like, nuke, send the nukes. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's all for fugazi. It's all
one
a
last
scam.
point. Yeah, and one last point I want to get across. So, start off, Johnny. What happened in 1929?
Are you talking about the Black Monday, the Great Depression? Are you talking about the run on the banks?
Crash, right?
Yeah, the run on the banks. Yeah.
Stock market crash. Right. All right. The Mo. What happened in 1913?
I don't know.
Spanish flu. Spanish
Okay.
flu happened in 1913. So we translate this. And I'm sorry. It was no. It was 1919 Spanish flu. Then we go into 2019. We had something pop off. I'm not going to say it because then YouTube's going to go crazy. And then if you go a little bit earlier, right around 1813, 1819, we had smallpox. And then right around 1830, 1840, we also had another stock market crash with Napoleon. Now what we're coming up to right now in 2029, what do you think is going to happen, guys?
Another bad event.
Another massive economic crash. It has been coded in the matrix. It happens every 100 years. We're due for one very, very soon. So the main point, I'm not trying to be negative, but the main point I'm trying to say is the main thing I'm trying to get across is make your bag stay focused right now, because there's going to come a time where we start to see this stuff repeat. And just like Johnny was saying, they don't want us to win, but we want you to win. So that's all.
We will win.
So we got a couple more years, you're saying. So
yeah, you got a couple more years. I'll be very honest with you. Like, if you can just focus here, don't drink, don't do anything stupid, and just focus on the bag, focus on the pixelated images of monkeys and coins and stuff, I think you end up all right.
So when does Skynet take over and kill us all?
That's 2029. Yeah.
That's
Skynet would be right around 2031, 2032.
I mean, why wouldn't this thing come and be some kind of AI related event, you know?
Well, 2033, that's the date that every single one of you guys should have on your calendar. 2033 is going to be a big, big year in all of our lives.
Did you see the Netflix movie Don't Look Up?
No. What is it about?
Damn it!
That's
about like
DiCaprio, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a futuristic version of Idiocracy. It's like there's a comet coming to Earth and scientists spot it, and everybody doesn't want to acknowledge it. So they like, it's like a whole campaign of like, just don't look up, don't look up, and it's not coming. Don't worry.
Can't see it, so it doesn't exist.
No, that's not. I don't know what you're talking about. 2033, it's gonna be glorious. Let's fucking go.
Fair enough.
It's gonna be knowing fucking Earth.
So you're saying Montana's looking really good to get out there, middle of nowhere, get your quads with your rifles mounted on them, and get your little cabin semi-off grid.
Oh, I got
the landing pads ready on Mars.
Yeah, well, all I gotta say is when 2033 hits, you definitely want to be out in the country with family and just people you know. That's all. So just keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This turned very day after tomorrow. I love it. All right. We need to wrap it up because I got to get going. Gentlemen, let's do the last thoughts. Ted, let's start with you, my friend.
Well, I'm going to go away a little humbled thinking about our conversation here.
We were talking. You're gonna have to do you're gonna have to school us on ordinals and inscriptions. That's what we want to do, a focus stream on that at some point.
It'd be fun. It'd be fun. That's actually one behind me right there.
Because what am I still dealing with? I still have my whatever, my .sats wallet or whatever. That's when I originally 2 summers ago I got in, and I was telling Johnny this. It's like when people were like, "Oh yeah, buy your .sats, claim your space," and people are looking to buy like, NBC.sats, something that's going to like, someone's going to want to get for like, and I'm going to sell for like 1 Bitcoin or whatever, because NBC is going to want their .sats address. But I went and I bought like the top 50 Chinese corporation names, .sats. And I also bought them so no one could pull one over on me. I bought them in the Mandarin language script as well. But then I bought all these things. I spent like all this Bitcoin dust on these things to get all these addresses. And then I go to sell, like put them on the market. And they're like, oh, this doesn't support Chinese language. What are you doing? I'm like, no, but why did you let me make it? So there's these like Chinese characters inscribed on the blockchain, but I can't really do anything with them until somebody supports that.
Yeah,
need a protocol.
It's really trippy. All I can say is that this particular ordinal that I have behind me is the creator who came up with this created a whole galaxy, and it's completely interactive. So like the blue dot over my left shoulder, if you will, that's the guy over here.
Mm-hmm.
I can travel to that one and I can look at it, go around it, and it has a sun. The sun has like solar flares, and it's so interactive and trippy. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Is that planet called Nibiru?
This one here?
Verse, tell us about Nibiru. I'm just
with the Anunnaki, and it gets here every, I think 280 years.
Well, people are saying it's already here, right? And it's being like shrouded from our view or something, or you can see it. Well,
it's in the Emerald Tablets. That talks about like the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, and it gets into ancient Sumerian. But I don't want to go into it because I know Mo wants to wrap up. But yeah, guys, check it out.
Either way, it's been a pleasure, guys. And BpDAI all the way, baby. $3.
BpDAI to
Nathan pulled a Nathan. I do that. Yeah, I do that all the time.
Remember,
like, what does that mean?
I pull myself.
All you guys, follow all these guys: Johnny, Nathan, Chris, Mo. Chris, thanks for the TA tonight. I like the words that you said, and it starts with a B, it ends with a double L, ISH.
Yes, sir. Bullish, baby.
Let's go, baby.
Oh, I was thinking bullshit for a second.
I thought he was too. I was like, oops.
I was like, damn.
I went to college. I swear. And I'm sitting there trying to spell the thing. I'm like, where's he going with this?
Dude, not. Alex is such a nice guy, man. I doubt he ever say that.
No, that guy's an absolute homer. I think he is like every single post I've ever made.
Peace out, boys.
Appreciate you, sir. I appreciate you very much. Next, where are we going? All right, this is going to be like place your bets. Place your bets. Who's the next one up? Who's the next one up? Oh, I think your hand came up right as I was pulling it down.
Me? That's how we're doing this. Wow.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Vers.
It's getting professional.
I fucked my handler over right there. Sorry, buddy.
What am I? Hey, Nathan here, pulling a Nathan. I can't tell you how much I appreciate everybody supporting us. It's been a wild ride. We are holding the line with Dragon Fart Dust, and I don't know what we're doing with BpDAI, but this thing, we're going to see what's going to happen here. So let's get that next. It's going to $1. So yes. This is a setup for a send.
I actually got that video.
Super send.
Super send.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, guys, I'm here with everybody else in the trenches. So we're all doing this together. Keep doing what you're doing out there and get a little bit of bag of BpDAI. Come on. When else do you have a chance to get in something that is moving like this and we're still only at 60K market cap? Come on. Thank you.
Amen.
Fantastic point. All right, my handler. I apologize.
Yes, sir. Well, guys, awesome live stream. Please always do me a favor. Follow my boy Johnny, TEDx, Nathan, and the Mo. They got alpha, they got altcoins. They're always educating the community and supporting you guys. Also, special shout out, forgot to mention King on Pulse Chain. You want to earn some Teddy reflections, Pulse X or most, that's the coin to get into. Sitting at about 111K market cap. That's one of my top picks for Pulse Chain going on forward. And it's also going to be one of my crazy shills. I love to shill hard. It is what it is. But guys, awesome live stream. And if you are a DGen, not that smart, like the fast money, follow me at the Verse 369. Until then, guys, we'll see you in the next one.
Nice. Real quick, Mo, I do not think you can renounce ownership with Zora. I do not think that's possible because I noticed that on Deck Screener. We'd have to look.
Zora has the ownership.
Yeah. So just so you got vision, this was launched on Zora and that put it on the ETH pair. Unless there's something in the documents and the white paper that shows you how, I don't think we can. And I don't think Zora is interested in renouncing ownership.
Yeah, Zora is pretty much Coinbase venture, so that's what that is. So, Johnny, sir, how you doing?
It's good.
BpDAI, BpDAI, BpDAI. Is that no reason?
I don't know what
Yeah.
I don't know what I was doing earlier today when I just checked the BpDAI chat and I saw that I was missing like 60 messages. So I'm like, Jesus, what's going on here? And I'm like scrolling through and I'm looking at all these bubble buy bots or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? $900, $900, $300, $200. I was like, what is going on right now? So that was awesome that was unexpected for sure. You guys are absolute studs, all of you watching. Even if you're not in it, you're still a stud, but not as much of a stud as someone that is in it, obviously. Just know, guys, remember, and I made a X post about this, and it's not me trying to flex, it's me trying to let you know the team that's behind this is the same team behind Dragon Fart Dust. And we got that thing to 3.5 million in like 5 weeks. So, with this, it's going to be a little bit different because of the way the liquidity works and we don't hold 90% of the supply. However, the one thing that I can say that's neat about this is we don't necessarily need to spend $4,000 a day DEX boosting, because if you're doing well and you have a community and you have some volume and your chart's doing something sexy, you start trending automatically on Zora, the main platform that this thing is built on, the main platform that these degens are using. So they're going to go to this Zora platform and they're just going to sit back and look, just like how we did earlier when we showed you all the different, the top 10 or whatever. They're going to look. You think people are going to scroll down to the number 250 coin on Zora? No, they're going to look at that first page. It's just like Google. When you Google something, you look at the first page, that's it. You're not scrolling to page 5, right? That's the idea here. And we're already, what number are we right now on the Zora thing?
8. 8 on market cap.
8 overall.
8 overall. Okay, we're in the top 10. So we're in people's faces now. And let's go ahead and circle back to my comment I made a couple minutes ago. There are some big PDAI whales that know about us. And they are tracking another whale in PDAI who has based PDAI. So apparently there's some massive PDAI whale that has based PDAI, and they're tracking that wallet. So the eyes are coming over, and so far I haven't heard any poopy throwing tomatoes our way as we're crossing the street. So it seems that everyone is enjoying this. Let's keep up the energy. Don't take your foot off the gas. Look at her.
Look at her.
Nothing but good times over here, people. Nothing but good times.
She wants to take a lick. Nope, she's not going to lick it.
That's right.
I'm going to lick it.
Yeah,
take it.
That's good.
Take it.
That's Vanessa, and you put some respect on her name.
Sorry.
But yeah. So thanks to everybody. Really appreciate you. Get a bag. Just understand that me, Nathan, and Mo, we're not selling ever. You saw the versus TA. You saw what it could do.
watch
So
my
that's
single side
it.
video. If you don't know what you're doing and you don't know about single side, watch my video. Now is the time to be putting in your single sides. And also, that doesn't just go for BpDAI. Okay. When you get your bag, put in a single side, and that will keep your mind at ease. You don't have to sit there and stare at the chart all day, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be able to influence the market. And unless you have the skills that the verse does, which not many people do, it is very, very uncommon for someone to be able to actually TA anything and actually sound like they know what they're doing. He's one of like 3 people that I've seen in the crypto space actually be able to do it. So unless you're on that level, okay, listen to what he's saying, right? Listen to his alpha, but don't feel like you have to sit there and trade the 5-minute chart, right? Listen to what he's talking about. He's talking about King. The last time this man spoke about King, what happened? The next day, 34% up. And I made sure that everyone knew about that on Next. So we're not here playing tiddlywinks and patty cake. We're here to educate and bring you guys some plays. While this market is doing this, there's always something doing this. There's always something doing this. You just have to know where to look. If you don't know where to look, join us. Get plugged in. Follow all these guys. Join the telegrams, and we're at least having some fun while the market's. Everyone's crying about the market. No one here is crying. No one here is crying. Got
no crying in the casino.
I like that. That was great. You nailed that.
I've seen
awesome
people do
outro,
that.
man. Good stuff.
Fucking love it. All right, guys. I appreciate you all. I want you to remember this. This all started as just a demonstration on how to have fun on this new platform, Zora. And we made a joke with the House of Warlords, and the Council of LP took it, and we ran with it. So I want to shout out to the House of Warlords, Shrey specifically. He's not in the chat today, but we do appreciate him and we miss him. But specifically between Shrey, between Vibra Finance, and between my homie right here, the Verse, those are the 3 people most responsible for the biggest home runs I've made. So I want you to follow the Verse. I want you to put your notifications on for him. I want you to watch his videos.
Dingers.
Like, subscribe, comment, get that algo pumping, because not everybody knows what they're talking about. And those 3 people, and especially this guy right here, he does. Okay?
Dingers.
Wait, you first pointed at me and then you swapped it.
Yeah, no, my bad. Yeah, I'm
All
right.
right.
No, you do. Okay, but hang on. Let me get this right. These two gents right here are responsible for all of the LP knowledge that I have ever acquired. So, Titans of LP, Council of LP. Your Titans in my book. That's all there is to it. Okay? The Council of LP. These gentlemen, the Verse, everybody, Ted, why I can't ever get this right on the camera, I don't know. It's always the opposite, but I can't ever fucking figure it out. All right? Good Lord. All I know is BP. What are you laughing at? What am I going to do? Do you know what I'm going to do? I mean, maybe I'm just going to rope it up and go, $1. And then that's it. And then I just, no. Baby, $1.
My arms
Have a
disappeared.
great day, guys.
I've got no arms.
See you
Oh,
guys
my
later.
God, I love it. Shit, I don't have my sunglasses. I can't do it.
Beep, $1. Yeah, that's what we need. We need like a Michael McDonald kind of thing. He's like, beep,
Michael McDonald. If I hear Michael McDonald one more time, I'm gonna.
Oh, I need sunglasses. I feel left out.
Oh, I don't have any.
I don't have any sunglasses either.
Yo.
Good
to go, baby.
Yeah, I'm jamming. I need my piano.
Yo, let's do this. Where's your sunglasses?
They're in my car.
Screen it.
Bro, just drive your car inside, bro. You're good.
Yeah. Mo, you set us up.
No, you know what? I can't ruin this. So.
Look at Johnny. I love it.
Johnny.
Oh, bro, he's got the metaverse sunglasses. Johnny's in the metaverse, bro.
You know what?
Can you imagine doing a stream with this on? That's it.
Johnny
like
puts
that.
him down, and it's the girl licking the lollipop over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, hi, Johnny. Did you buy your BpDAI today?
Oh,
Like,
you
no,
know
did
it.
you lick that lollipop?
Johnny,
No,
good
not
shit.
yet. No, not yet. Oh, there we go.
I love how Mo's in the background, just playing the game maker, showing the videos, all that good stuff.
What is
Look,
it?
I didn't have sunglasses, so I felt like I shouldn't take part in that. So, you know. All right, guys, thank y'all for coming. We're gonna do this again. We will probably, by probably I mean we will stream again on Monday, and then you know, when we start hitting these benchmarks, you damn right we're gonna stream. We hit 75K, we're fucking streaming. Keep doing it, Ted. Keep doing it, buddy. Love it. He's fucking over here. Why am I pointing the other way? Oh my god. When we hit 100K, we're fucking doing it. We hit a penny, we're fucking doing it. Let's fucking go. BpDAI. Puaudawa. Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan. All right, guys. Have a great day. See you next time. Peace.
Mo, 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 mo,